I'm gonna get screwed to a wall if I have to pick it out. Because I didn't think monkey. I just figured some kid jumped onto the chandelier and waited till everybody wasn't looking.
This morning's newspaper. Holmes, have you read this article about you?
No, Watson, not yet, and I won't have time to.
Read it before you leave. It's outrageous.
If you insist.
Alright, back in control, finally. So, a lot of text to start out, but... Showed the home of Marcus Cunningham. The investigation of the fiasco yesterday. The celebrated detective Sherlock Holmes was invited to the manor of the Marquis of Cunningham to supply his conclusions following this investigation to the disappearance of the priceless simoleon necklace. It should be recalled that the lady called in a detective after the police appeared flummoxed in the face of the astonished circumstances surrounding the theft. Alright, indeed, the valuable piece of jewelry disappeared while the door to the room in which it was displayed was locked. This alarm was raised by the servants, alerted by the room service bell ringing out during the night. When the Marquis, the only person in possession of the key, opened the door, everyone rushed in to extinguish a fire that had started before it was noticed that the necklace had mysteriously vanished. The most astonishing factor is no thief was found within the room, and all exits were closed. As usual, Mr. Holmes resolved the case in a twinkling of an eye, and the jewel was recovered. I will not waste my time in the various explanations as to the disappearance, because I would prefer to draw your attention, dear readers, to the last surprising developments in the case. Following the departure of Sherlock Holmes, who placed the necklace in the safe himself, Marquis noted the jewel was nothing but a poor copy of the original. Let it not be forgotten that the Samoan necklace, although plain and without ornament, is unique because of the rarity of its pearls. Pearls which are found only in the small part of the lagoon of the archipelago. All I've gotten from this is that a fake one got dropped into the fish tank, and now people are thinking that I snagged it. Uh-oh. This is great. The inspector's already a pretty good friend of mine. I'm sure he's gonna love this. Alright, should have been part of her daughter's dowry for her marriage to the Duke of Newcastle, so I'm going to place some... should we not, in all open minds, ask ourselves if the necklace was not simply and doubly exchanged for a fake by Mr. Holmes himself? I'm where to read the brutality of this question, without any perceptions, may certainly shock some of you. But the facts are here, and our thoughts and judgments should not be confused in the regard of which all share the famous detective. Like a chance me to lose capture. The Frenchman who took malign pleasure in tarnishing the image of our royal family, and who, by lucky chance, managed to elude capture by Mr. Holmes. So they're saying that he let one of the other criminals go. At the time, we do not hesitate to consider that tact complicity on the part of the latter. For those who are familiar with Mr. Holmes, it is quite apparent that his character traits show more of the opportunist and brilliant usurper than the altruistic defender of the law. I would draw the attention of our readers to the suggestion that the description of this gentleman provided by his friend Dr. John Watson through his stories is a long way from the truth. So this is just basically tearing him apart. And he's trying to get all of Scotland, all of England, Scotland, because they're Scotland Yard. Trying to get everybody on him, basically.
Prince Woodville, French culinary expert and bagpipe player, might be our next king. That's not so shocking, my dear fellow.
You know exactly to which article I'm referring, Holmes. How can Farley dare to tarnish your reputation like that?
You know, Watson, that wherever glory walks, jealousy is bound to follow. As for the forgery of the necklace, I suspect that we shall soon be enlightened in this regard. Come in, Inspector Baines, the door's open.
Ah, Mr. Holmes. How did
Those
you know I
bullet
was
holes
here?
in the wall?
You are one of our rare visitors who avoids the second-to-last step of the stairs, which creaks dreadfully. And if I add the clinking of the handcuffs at your belt, to what do we owe the pleasure of your visit?
Looks like
Inspector?
bullet holes behind him.
Have you read that, Rag?
Inspector, I assume that you have the fake necklace with you. It's why you're here. Your superiors would like me to examine it.
Indeed. They would like you to confirm or deny putting this fake in the box.
Can't that wait? I must go to the house of Lord Peregrine Maitland, the Bishop of Knightsbridge.
Inspector, can you explain this slander? Has the necklace of the Samoas really been replaced by a fake?
I don't know
This
how the
is
reporter got hold of the
interesting.
information, but it's true. About the necklace, of course. I wouldn't permit myself to question the integrity and honesty of Mr. Holmes.
The necklace is a forgery? Impossible! I saw the Marquis authenticated before my very eyes.
He
before
actually-
Holmes returned it to its place.
He didn't.
Mr. Holmes, the Marquis believes Osmond Farley's theory. I shouldn't be surprised if the reporter isn't behind all this slander about you. He's a freelancer, well known for his explosive and subjective articles. In any case, the Marquis assures us that you were the last person to have the necklace in your hands.
Let's return to the Marquis's house, Holmes. I'm sure that we'll have no trouble in taking apart this theory.
It is unnecessary. Such allegations collapse on their own, like one of Mrs. Hudson's soufflés. Let us leave the police to solve this problem and turn our attention to the matters in hand.
Perhaps you are right, Holmes.
Let's see. So, if he, how? Wait. Okay. Holmes couldn't have put the fake in. He couldn't have, because the Marquis was almost certain that it was. The Marquis was certain it was his. So, I think our little Central American monkey friend got a hold of a key and tried to screw him to a wall.
And the Marchioness?
She is beside herself. Without the necklace, her marriage is compromised. It is the principal item of the young woman's dowry.
Oh.
What a lovely marriage. Holmes, forgive me for insisting, but don't you want to examine the fake jewellery?
Watson, I have an appointment, and it's out of the question that I arrive late.
It will only take you a couple of minutes. You really must quell the suspicions put forward in this appalling article. If you will allow me, Inspector.
Be my guest.
Alright,
Very
so
well.
just okay, so do I talk to you?
What do you think, Holmes?
Alright. Oh, here it is, it's on the table. It's already alright, let's take a look at this thing.
This pearl is a different color.
Yeah, so aren't these guys
These
up here?
3 pearls are of poor quality.
That one's
This pearl
tiny.
is too small. It is not in its place here. Too many defects. This necklace is a fake.
And
this
the
is nothing
clasp
but a
is
vulgar
breaking.
copy, and at a glance it would appear that the forger has intended for it to be seen as such.
How could we have been fooled by such a blatant imitation? I don't understand.
Yes, how is it possible? Holmes, do you have a theory about this?
I have absolutely no idea. You insisted that I examine the necklace, and I have done so. Now it is important that I keep my appointment. I'm sure, Inspector, that you will throw some light on this affair.
Holmes.
You may accompany me, Watson, if you care to do so.
Goodbye, gentlemen. I'll keep you informed as to my inquiry.
He tunnel visions hard.
Goodbye, Inspector.
Holy
You
crap.
mentioned a bishop, didn't you? Are we going to his home?
Yes, the Bishop of Knightsbridge. I put his address on our map of London on my desk. Would you get it for me, please?
All right, Holmes.
Oh, I'm controlling the doctor now. Alright, so let's go here.
The work
That's-
table.
Nope.
Where Holmes...
That's the work table. Nope, the map's not going to be over here, is it?
Holmes's homemade analyzer.
Oh. That's not what I thought it was. Okay, so where's this? Okay, the desk is over here. Let's go. There we go.
I have found your map.
Yay! I found something. Oh. Oh, cool. Fast travel. I don't have to wander around London.
The police? Already? How did you know?
May we see the Bishop of Knightsbridge?
Yes. Yes, of course. But come in.
A little suspicious. A little suspicious. Hope somebody's got a gun or something, because I have a feeling you're going to get jumped when you walk
What
through
has
the door.
happened, Reverend?
What?
I don't know. It was last night, I think. I only just arrived, and I have made this macabre discovery. My God. How horrible. I haven't called anyone. How did you know that?
Holmes, look!
the bishop
Oh.
appallingly mutilated.
How dreadful.
Mutilated. And killed. He was such a good man.
Oh.
How could anyone be so brutal? Look at him. He is barely recognizable now. How could any of God's children be responsible for that?
Looks like somebody took
They
a
were
fire
evidently
poker to him.
unworthy children, Reverend. Now do please try to calm yourself and focus, because we will need your assistance. Do you have any idea as to the motive behind this?
I haven't had time to do an inventory, but nothing appears to have been stolen. And anyway, His Excellency didn't own anything of great value. I don't know what else I can tell you.
Note this down, please, Doctor.
Doctor? But you aren't the police?
No, Reverend. I am Sherlock Holmes, and this is Dr. Watson. We are here at the request of the bishop.
We meant to talk
In that
to
case, I
him.
must ask you to leave. And not to touch anything. I must get in touch with the authorities without further delay.
Reverend, when the inspectors of Scotland Yard find themselves at a dead end, which they quite often do, I assure you, then they turn to me for help. If you will allow us to continue our investigation, then you shall have the answers to all of your questions.
The
Out
balls.
to the question. I don't even know you. I'm going to call the police, whether you like it or not.
It would be better for everyone, Reverend, if you kept your temper.
Who?
Watson, are you taking notes? This affair promises to be a complex one. Therefore, we must not overlook the slightest detail.
Yes, Holmes. I am keeping a meticulous set of notes. I have created a very clever deduction board. One thing we can be sure of at the moment is that this crime was not for gain. The Reverend has informed us that nothing valuable was stolen, and indeed, it would seem that the bishop had nothing of any worth to take.
Very good, Watson. Do continue.
Just gonna wander around the room. Alright. So, make the right deductions based on the facts you have. Vision, yep, nothing's... Alright, so... The night bridge deduction. Alright, so I just have to look around, get clues. Oh, okay. This is... Uh-huh. Alright, so I control him.
This stove is filled to overflowing.
Okay, let's take a look at the body. No, no. Alright, let's look at him.
The fingers have been crushed and violently struck.
But he has all his fingers.
The fingers have...
Yeah, I know I saw that. Okay, so, nope, not what I wanted to
His
hit.
stomach is covered in scratches. Quite evidently, they weren't made recently.
So, these wounds were not made by his murderers.
Alright, so how do I...
His forearms have been ripped. Pieces of skin have been torn off. What do you think, Watson?
Oh,
I'd say that he was eaten alive. Yet I've noticed a curious degeneration of the skin tissue around the wounds.
wasn't eaten. Maybe he was burned?
A piece of rope that was used to tie up that poor man.
That sucks. I don't think that's what he was expecting when the rope came out. No, if I could... No! Back up. Oh, okay. Cool. Alright. That right there is the problem. Because he... has all his
Finger.
fingers.
Apparently, it doesn't belong to the Bishop of Knightsbridge.
Yeah, he has all his
How
fingers.
dreadful.
So, where did that come from? Oh, he
These
got burned.
burns are terrible.
This poor man was tied just below the knees.
To stop him from walking, certainly, but mostly to free his feet.
His feet have been burned.
My first impression is that he wears a size 9 shoe.
You? But what does it matter, Holmes? My God, Holmes, this man was horribly tortured.
Dang. That just ain't even right. This man got... He just got beat.
His chest has been lacerated, I would say, with a very sharp and fine blade.
But they're not new. I don't think
You
they're
can
new.
see by his expression that he suffered terribly.
His mouth is covered in blood, and I can make out strips of skin between his teeth. My dear friend, everything points to this man having gnawed at his own forearms.
That's unbelievable, Holmes.
got tied up and he tried to bite his own forearms off? He tried to cut his hand. He tried to bite his hands off so he could get out, so he could stop the torture. Oh crap! That is some seriously sick
Something
stuff.
is missing here.
Oh, yes? And what might that be?
His shoes. Watson, his shoes are missing. A bottle of whiskey. I can make out fingerprints stained with blood and dirt.
So whiskey. I don't know. I don't think it was the bishop, but you never know.
A broken bottle of whiskey. However, the Bishop of Knightsbridge was known for his sobriety. It would seem that the brutes who tortured the bishop to death were intoxicated with alcohol.
Maybe they needed the alcohol to perform the torture? I don't know.
A broken phial and blood near the neck.
What a strange smell. Phew. Chemical components, I think.
They might have smashed it on his leg, maybe. I don't know. I'm just gonna keep rambling while I find stuff. Because
There is blood on this paperweight. This paperweight was used to crush the victim's fingers.
Ooh, that's a lovely thought.
You have no right to search here.
Well, too bad.
Watch where you're putting your feet, Watson. Have you noticed these prints upon the ground?
So he's gonna stiff arm somebody.
Yes, those muddy marks.
See here, Watson. Footprints can often provide more vital information than the very best of informants.
Yes, if you know how to make them talk, that is.
It's child's play, Watson. We will begin by excluding the contaminating prints, which are yours and mine from where we came in, and those of our dear Reverend who was so impatient to call the police.
Alright, so let's see. That
Size
is...
9.
Alright, so that one's...
Size 9. Size 9.5.
Huh.
Size 9. Size 9.5. Size 9. Nothing of interest here. A fragment of stone. Peculiar. Hobnail boots like...
Alright, so...
This print came from an expensive pair of shoes, and it seems... I
Alright, so
need
that one...
something. I need something.
One man joined those who were already in the room. One man left the room wearing a different pair of shoes. Scary, so not to leave footprints. All men left the room. Let's see. So let's see. How many nines
Size
and a half?
9.5.
That's a 9
Size
and a half.
9.5. Size 9.5.
Whoa.
Size 9. Size
Whoa,
9.5.
whoa, 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 chill, bro.
Size 9.
Alright.
Size 9.
Alright, so let's...
Hobnail boots like those worn by laborers. Well-worn shoes with an odd pattern on the soles.
I'm going to assume that was the Reverend.
Well-worn shoes with an odd pattern on the soles. Hobnail boots like those worn by laborers. Hobnail boots.
So there's 1, 2...